We are so back, part 3 of reacting to your UFC hot takes. You guys asked for it, and we always deliver out here on Dodson's Corner.
Yes,
There's
sir.
no one more loyal to our fans than us, so...
Delivering like I'm pregnant.
Bar! Central C, hit him up. But, like I said, no one's more loyal than us. That's why we're going to roast the crap out of you guys for the next half an hour.
Yeah.
So.
Well, that's not what your girlfriend told me. She said you're not loyal. All right, let's move on. We have our first hot take from Bones Better, who has an Alex Pereira profile picture. Love that. My hot take is Buckley is very likely to become champ at the end of 2025, and Izzy is probably going to have his second prime. Interesting take, Bones Better. Dylan, I'm gonna hand this one off to you because I know you have a big opinions about Buckley.
Joaquin Buckley. Become champ at the end of 2025. Here's where you're wrong, Bones Better. He's become champ tomorrow.
Oh.
In your dreams, bro.
Wow. Boom, roasted.
I struggled to get along with this one just because Bilal Shavkat, that fight will probably happen within the next 3 months. And I just don't know if Buckley will be at a title shot by then.
Because JDM gets a number one.
We have JDM versus Leon, and realistically, the winner of that fight is probably fighting the winner unless it's Leon versus Bilal. Then we probably don't see that. Yeah. But I just think that we have other number one contender fights kind of lining up right now. So I don't know if I love that take. I also just don't think Joaquin Buckley is going to really do anything this year. I said he was going to be worst fighter of the year in our 2025 predictions.
That's true. I forgot about that.
And then we also just filmed that video where I said Israel Adesanya is going to be comeback fight of the year, but have a second prime. His body's just over the edge.
Yeah.
You got an opinion on that? I think it's just he's just slower.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the issue with a counter striker who's so heavily reliant on his counter striking ability and fast twitch reflexes. It's tough when you get to 38 years old or 37, however old he's going to be this year, to have a second prime against people like Hamza and Drickus, who are good wrestlers. Hamza is a fantastic wrestler. Drickus is just strong and weird. I do think Izzy is going to remind people how good he is against Imavov. We're not doing an official predictions video for that fight night, but I'll give my official prediction. I do think Izzy's going to KO him inside 3 rounds. I've been thinking about it more, and I've been watching Imavov again, and I just think if he even tries to stand up with Izzy, he doesn't have a chance. You know, wrestling is going to be his main chance, but hopefully Izzy can fend him off.
I don't know if Izzy is going to be able to put out Imavov just for the pure fact that in the Drickus fight, it almost felt like we were seeing more so volume than power from Izzy.
Yeah.
Who knows if that's what he thought he had to do against Drickus to win in the scorecards, but I don't know. I think I would probably lean Adesanya decision.
Drickus is just a different beast, though.
Yeah,
you know?
and he does have such a good chin.
Yeah. Let's move on to our second hot take, Dylan.
Jake 102. My hot take is John Jones is the most overrated fighter in the UFC ever since the Santos fight. He has looked horrible on the feet every time he fought a tall I thought that's striker.
Oh, yeah. I see what you mean.
So what you're saying here, Jake, would John Jones struggle against Johnny Walker?
Hey, actually, tall striker. You never know.
I think that this is just rage bait. Overrated fighter in the UFC ever.
Yeah, this is what you'd see on Twitter. Like, this doesn't actually feel like a real opinion.
Like, you're telling me that the guy that can be no lower than number 2, so you either have him at 1 or 2, and he has to drop down from 1 to 2 because you got GSP at 1, moving down 1 spot on the GOAT list. Oh, he's so overrated. Yeah. He's so overrated.
I don't think this is a great opinion. Sorry, Jake 102. I think maybe people are a little bit angry at him, which is totally fair for not taking the Tom Aspinall fight or just delaying the division, which I'm mad at him too, but it doesn't mean that you can discredit all of his other fights from the last 10 years. I mean, he has been the most dominant champion in terms of wins and title reign.
Yeah.
Like, we looked at the stats. I loved our stats video where we said, like, who could break new records. No one's breaking the title reigns of John Jones or the title wins. Like, it's unbelievable. And then you say he's looked terrible on the feet every time he fought a tall striker. Dude, he still won every time. Like, the Dominic Reyes fight was the closest thing he's been to losing. But other than that, like, Gustafsson, like, he won those fights. So, yeah, not agreeing with this hot take. Next up, Drickus finished Sean and Hamza in 2025. Okay, I guess we'll start off with this one. I think he has the possibility to finish Sean.
I think he could choke out Sean.
Yeah, wrestling for sure. Hamzat, I don't see him finishing Hamzat.
Though, I don't see it, but I think if Dricus wins, it could be Hamzat is so gassed out 4th or 5th round.
KO?
Either like some ground and pound TKO, or it's just absolutely exhausted that...
It would be insane if Dricus finished Hamzat. I think, yeah, what you're saying is true, but we've seen Hamzat's chin against Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman at a lighter weight class. He's going to have a better chin at a higher weight class. Dricus hits freaking hard, but Dricus isn't like a pinpoint accurate striker.
Okay, but as much as I don't agree with it, I really like the hot take though. It's what you should be looking for in a hot take. You know, something that can actually happen, but is like, oh crap. You know, it makes you think. You know, so I really like that one. Next, we have Fluffy will be #1 contender by the end of 2025.
It's tough. He's been KO'd before. He has KO loss. So he's not like a guaranteed, he's just been mauling everyone in the division. He mauled Michel Pereira, who has no cardio.
Yeah.
We are pretty high on Fluffy compared to like, you know, the rest of the UFC fan base, I think. But I don't think, he's middleweight. I don't think he's going to be higher than Kaio or Rob Whittaker or Sean Strickland or Izzy. I just don't think he's going to get those big name fights because he is not a big name.
I think the only way he's #1 contender is if he has a good year and Dricus goes and beats everyone this year, because then he's kind of already beaten 3 of the guys. He's beaten Hamzat, he's beaten Sean, and he's beaten Adesanya. In this scenario, you know, I'm just saying that he wins both of his fights this year, and then you have a scenario where we just saw like a Kaio lose, and like Whittaker isn't going to go and fight Dricus again because that's another guy that he's beaten. So it's like Fluffy gets a couple wins. He's up there at like the 5 spot, and it's like...
But then you still have Imavov.
But Imavov would have lost to Adesanya.
Yeah, but then you still have Adesanya.
But then Adesanya's already lost to Dricus. There's no reason to...
But if Hamzat wins, you never know.
No, but I'm saying that the only way that happens is if Dricus is the champion.
It's just unlikely.
Yeah, it's unlikely, but... I can see where you're coming from. It's not bad.
Dariush is the only fight Moicano can win 50-50 in the lightweight rankings above him. Not true at all. I think there's quite a few older fighters who are past their prime in the lightweight division, at least in my opinion. I think Chandler is probably the second easiest fight for him. I do agree Dariush is like the easiest fight for Moicano. It's not even easy though, is it? Like we didn't see it at UFC 311, but I mean Dariush has a very strong wrestling base and probably stronger than Moicano on the ground. So it's like, does Dariush have a chin anymore? I think that's the main thing we're all wondering, but we didn't get to see it.
I think with Darnush is the thing is that he's just so good.
Yeah.
You know, he's just good. And Moicano is maybe a little bit more good. I think that Moicano has a chance against guys like Gamrot and Chandler.
Yeah.
You know, just because we just saw Gamrot lose to Hooker, and Moicano obviously has better takedown defense, grappling than a guy like Hooker.
Yeah.
Not as good as striking. But it's honestly, at this point with Moicano of losing to Islam, if Moicano wasn't on that 4-fight win streak, I think that we wouldn't be as high on him. And I think that we have to look back to like 2 fights ago, but where we weren't super high on him. There's merit.
Yeah.
Wins 50. He has over 50% chance of winning. Honestly, I think I agree. If his odds over 50%, I think I agree with that. I don't still know how hot that is then, if we're breaking it down.
Yeah, it's not super hot. Mick Parkin is the worst prospect in the UFC.
He's ranked.
Yeah, he is ranked. Also, why do you spell prospect with a K? Interesting. I don't think that he's the worst. He's not an all-time talent. I'd just say he's very middle of the road. But for heavyweight, he's a good prospect.
No one's saying he's the savior.
No.
He's the guy that's going to save this heavyweight division.
No, he's no Tom Aspinall.
Because he's not even going to be able to fight Tom Aspinall.
No.
All right, Jail 09. Hot.
I would say Jay Lee.
Jay Lee!
There you go.
Hot takes. 1. Diego Lopez isn't the best featherweight contender and will get KO'd badly by Ilya. The only person who has a chance is Evloev. He could beat Ilya on the ground. He just needs to get him there. I think that this is true. I think on paper, Evloev has a better fight package to go out and has the better skill set to go out and beat Ilia Topuria, potentially just because we have seen less on the ground from Ilia Topuria. But also at the same time, Ilia Topuria isn't just your average champion. He's one of the most dominant fighters in the UFC. He's one of the most skilled and well-rounded fighters in the UFC. And what it takes to beat someone like that, we got to look at like Jose Aldo. What did it take to beat that guy that was unbeatable?
Yeah.
A fluky 13-second KO.
Yeah.
I'm not saying fluky, like a 13-second random chaotic KO.
Yeah.
Who can deliver that? No one other than Diego Lopez.
Yeah, that's fair. I think I agree with the take that Diego Lopez isn't the best featherweight contender. Yeah, I mean, he is right now, other than Volk. Like, I think Volk's still more skilled than him, but it's a matchup that we haven't seen, Diego Lopez versus Ilya, so I'm more interested in that. I do think he'll get KO'd bad by Ilya. It's going to be sad. Like, I can guarantee it would be around 3 KO probably.
And I know it's not it's not gonna be a straight. It's gonna be like a hook, and you're just gonna see his head, like Lopez's head, whip back,
spin around,
and then like the hair flies back, and he just falls to his back,
dies. Yeah, it's gonna be brutal. Because if you watch Diego Lopez, he gets super tired by like the end of the second round because he puts so much into all of his punches, whereas Ilya does put all of it into the punches, but somehow he just doesn't get tired. You know, he's very flowy. Great head movement, so it's going to be really hard for anyone to beat him, especially Diego Lopez. But yeah, Movsar, if he can get him to the ground, Movsar has a good chance. Movsar just doesn't have finishing ability, so it's like even if Movsar does hold him down, we start every round on the feet still. So, you know, with the takedown defense and even the scrambling ability that Topuria has, it's not going to be easy for Movsar to just hold him down like Merab does to Sean O'Malley.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be very competitive. Ilya has insane power that can put out Evloev with one shot. So yeah, I think once you rock Evloev, it's going to be a different ball game.
It's just there's no one that really is a true test for him inside of those rankings.
Yeah.
And then moving on to Jay Lee. Second take. Moicano is going to lose to Darnouche and is never making it near the top 5 or lightweight.
Well,
of lightweight.
Didn't happen.
That fight didn't happen, so we'll just move on.
Fern. Number 1, Carlos Prates is really overrated and will get fraud checked by anyone with decent wrestling. Magny was giving him trouble with his wrestling. Fighting nerds as a whole are slightly overrated.
I agree with that last part.
Yeah, I would definitely say the fighting nerds are on a bit of a hype train right now. I think we saw, Carlos Prates is really the only guy who is still completely dominating. Rufy did not dominate that fight.
It was against circumstances. He was up against Fat Lawn Top.
Yeah, who got
GFL
cut.
Lawn Top.
True. Oh man, you guys got to go check out our GFL video. It's coming out soon. It's iconic. We're making the GFL fight league great again.
Yeah, and we're like, making GFL great again, like things that they should do.
Well, they haven't even started yet. I've literally said it's a fake fight league. This is never happening.
It's a pyramid scheme, actually.
It is, dude. It is. We'll talk about it later. But yeah, watch that video. Anyways, Carlos Prates, I would say, is like the least overrated fighter because Rufy has a chance to get gassed like Conor McGregor does. Carlos Prates does have a chance to get fraud checked by a grappler, obviously, but he trains with Kyle Barallo and Gene Silva. Like, he obviously has very good grappling, at least defensive wrestling, so I'm not too worried about that. I think he beats Gilbert Burns. And then Kyle, he's fine. Kyle's fine,
Yeah, there's holes. There's obvious holes that we talk about every single time. We can't mention Kyle Barajo without mentioning the fact that he doesn't play defense.
Yeah, and then Gene Silva is just a beast.
Yeah, Gene Silva has the most potential out of all of them.
I would agree with that, yeah.
But is really overrated? I don't know if he's overrated. He's not like he's up there already in like the top 5, and
right. Rankings wise, he's not overrated.
Yeah. Maybe overhyped. I don't even know if he's overhyped. There's nothing he's done in the UFC that hasn't proved that he should be where he's at right now. He has gone out every single time and proved himself.
Yeah.
This is one I read already. You're going to like this.
All right. Do you want me to read it?
Yeah.
All right. Fareed Basharat is criminally underrated. I've always said that. I think this is partly due to him and his brother's inactivity, as well as his brother Javid's loss. People confuse them. But Fareed's last opponent missed weight. But I do remember this, 10 pounds. It was Hugo Victor Hugo. And Fareed ended up beating him at catchweight. I know, featherweight bout when he originally made weight. It is super impressive that he beat a guy 10 pounds heavier than him. Undefeated Afghani prospect.
He's a dog.
He's a dog for sure. And he has good striking, but most of his wins are submissions. So he's well-rounded everywhere. Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, I like that. I don't know how hot that take is. I think it's just taking advantage of someone that people don't really know about. You missed a good take there.
I don't need to read Shamil the Blob Ghaziyev title run. I just don't need to read that.
All right. We're moving on to the Pata. Hot take. Habib's career was better than John Jones' whole career. Next take. Oh, he actually has reasoning. Okay. Habib was undefeated. And Jones was not.
Bro, get out of here,
Thank you. This dude just went straight off a Tapology, started copying pasting stuff. I know you might think now that John Jones' loss was a robbery, but I still think the people Khabib absolutely smashed was all better than John Jones' opponents. All right, so how many guys has Khabib beaten from the top 10 of the UFC GOAT list? None. How many has John Jones? He beat DC twice. Thank you.
Yeah.
And he also beat Stipe. I mean, old Stipe, but still.
Yeah, still count. They're both old.
Yeah. And I know you guys are Americans.
Wrong. We're Canadians. Idiot, you stupid where are you from?
The Pata.
No, he looks like he's from the Taliban. What else? This dude, we might actually need to hide our address. Oh, jeez.
I know you guys are Americans and glaze Jones. No,
we hate Jones. Well, like
we don't glaze. We have never glazed John Jones once on this channel.
I don't think he's watched us before.
But I also think Jones is so overrated.
I just don't get how you can call the best fighter of all time overrated. I just don't understand.
Stupid. It's stupid.
Yeah, like we don't like him personally, and we think that he did lose to Dominic Reyes, but he also didn't lose to Matt Hamill. Like, he threw an illegal elbow, sure, but he didn't lose a fist fight to Matt Hamill.
And here's the thing, is also with the whole overrated thing, how can we overrate John Jones when it's not even like we say that the gap between him and GSP is huge? No. You know, it's like we're saying, no one's even close to Jones. Like, no, GSP is an honorable too. Like,
yeah, I guarantee you in 2 years, Islam Makhachev will be number 2 or 1.
Yeah. All right. Multiverse of Malice 7795. JDM is mid AF and it ain't even that hot.
Nah, he's not mid.
He's not mid.
He's good. It's just like, how good is he? You know, what's the skill cap for a guy like JDM? Can he keep getting those KOs when he needs it?
We'll have to see. This one is a take that's either going to age real good or real bad. So
yeah. I don't know why JDM has so many haters, you know? Maybe. I see so many hate comments.
Because he's related to Shavkat.
True.
All right.
Britisher. Shara loses to Ikram.
Right now, no.
Yeah, we'll have to see. Ikram got his fight canceled. Yeah, that's
due to visa issues.
Yeah, and Cody Haddon pulled out of the Alexander Topuria fight, so they're looking for a replacement. Dude, if Alexander Topuria is out of UFC 312, that card is so ass. I mean, it's already bad, but it's even worse.
And I tried to make a video rebooking that card.
It's impossible.
It's impossible because there's no featured fight. It's like no one actually wants to fight there. You're not going to go and get these guys that could be, you know, having the featured fight of an American card or main eventing a fight night, come out here to Australia where they're going to lose half their money.
Yeah. Do you see the Jack Jenkins reel I sent to you?
I saw a gold Jack Jenkins TikTok this morning.
Oh, okay. What was it?
It was talking about when he broke the guy's leg.
Oh, yeah.
And he was like,
that's the one I sent to you.
Oh, so it would have been on. Maybe I did look at that. I don't know.
Yeah.
But he's like, I'm going to keep kicking it.
Yeah. He told the guy, I'm going to keep kicking your leg.
Yeah. But do I think that Shara beats Ikram right here in January of 2025? Yes.
Dude, Ikram low-key could just wrestle frick him.
He could also just get chinned again.
Yeah, it's really tough. I would say that's a
good take.
It's a good matchup.
I think I've actually said in the past that Ikram beat Shara, but
all right, moving on. Ronan Val 5983. Here are some more hot takes for your next video. Okay, I don't even want to read this.
He sounds like me a few months ago saying fraud checked about number one contenders.
Yeah, Tom Aspinall gets fraud checked.
I think that fraud check isn't the right word. Tom Aspinall loses from John Jones.
Yeah.
It's not a hot take when it's even odd fight.
Yeah, you're not a fraud when you've beaten what is it, 6 out of the top 10 opponents in 1 minute. Like, that's stupid. Yeah. That's crazy.
But so that's not a hot take. This next one, Kaya Sakura gets cut from UFC in 2025, similar to how Robelis went.
This would be crazy because you go from a title shot to, I actually love this hot take. This is a great hot take. Going from title shot and then in 1 year you get cut. I doubt it because they want to expand into the Japanese market, but if he's that bad.
Yeah, I think that if he loses all of his fights this year, it's like, oh crap. But at the same time, he is so marketable. Mm. He is so marketable that the UFC, if he loses the next fight, is just going to give him the worst flyweight of all time.
Yeah.
You know, Sean O'Malley never becomes champion again. Ooh, I like that take too.
It's a good hot take, yeah.
Just because when is he ever going to beat Umar?
Or Merab.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's I would say it's like 75% he doesn't ever become champ again.
Bantamweight champ. I could see him winning the featherweight champ. If Ilya's gone, you have Sean go up to featherweight, fight in 2 years, fight Diego Lopez.
I doubt it. Featherweight's just freaking a killer.
5'11".
Killer. Yeah, he's tall. He's tall for sure. Last one, Hamzat never becomes champ due to health issues. I doubt it. Hamzat's still young. He's still, I don't know. He's in a heavier weight class now. I think he's more mature and he has a better training camp and better people around him. And we know a little bit more about his health issues now. So I don't think they'll be as bad as they ever were in 2023. You just never know. You just never know with a guy like Hamzat. But let's hope this doesn't come true, because if you have a guy like Hamzat who you know is probably better than everyone and he never gets that chance,
it's like,
what could have been?
Yeah. Should we do one more?
Yeah. How many? Oh, there's a lot more. Let's do 2 more.
Okay. All right. Next take from XRobot77. Hot take. Movsar Evloev. Actually, Evolve. Movsar Evolve beats Ilya. So this.
Why are you saying every name the worst way possible?
Because they're not spelt right.
Ilya is. Oh, that's 2 L's. Okay.
Oh.
Well, you literally didn't know how to spell Ilya until 1 month ago. You spelled it Ilya for the longest time.
Yeah, and how did I spell Taporia?
You spell it like Conor McGregor says it. You're like, top churro. Ilya with a Y, top churro. That's how I used to spell it.
He loses round 1 and 2, then comes back with grappling and his mental cardio. I've never heard anyone say mental cardio before.
No, he means like mental as like insane.
Oh, I was like his brain cardio. I was like, what is going on here?
Sending bad vibes your way.
To win 3, 4, and 5.
No, this is bad, because I think Movsar has the best chance to hold Ilya down in round 1 and 2 when he has the most strength.
Yeah, and I don't know if he has mental cardio.
Yeah, I don't
like even in that Sterling fight. I feel like they were a little bit tired in that 3rd round.
Yeah, which is fair, but Ilya's gonna, at the point when they finally fight, Ilya's gonna have more 5-round experience. He's gonna have Volk fight, Holloway fight, Volk fight again, probably Lopez fight. Yeah. Like he'll have 4 5-round training camps, which is super valuable.
Yeah. All right. This is actually perfect that this is the take that we're ending it off on, because this is what inspired part 3 when Lucas told me about this take.
Oh yeah.
You want to read it off?
All right, I'll read it from LK Sinmar QR2OI. Hot take: Ankalaev, and you tagged him, beats Prime Jones. Well, are you okay?
So here's the thing. It's hard to beat someone when you're better at everything.
So true.
Like, what?
I don't even know. Like, I would love, if you are watching this video, I would love for you to explain why you think this. What do you see in Ankalaev's game that you think could ever give John Jones issues? He's not as good of a striker as Gustafsson was, or Dominic Reyes. And Prime John Jones is like when he was actually beating the frick out of these, these big light heavyweights.
And it's like he's not even close to the level of wrestling of DC.
Yeah, that's true. So I just don't understand how Jones would ever lose.
No.
You know?
And Hank Alive is so overrated. Why do people love to overrate him? And I also love the people when I go back and I go and get the screenshots for our next hot takes video when they're just defending themselves with paragraphs and paragraphs of defense.
Oh yeah, they're like, well, I didn't explain myself. Let me
Sorry.
cook. It's pretty funny. It's pretty funny.
If you have to explain yourself, your take's probably trash. So.
No, it's not. I don't know.
All right, that's gonna wrap it up for reacting to your guys' hot takes, part 3. It gets better every time.
And we have a lot more hot
We have
takes.
a whole nother video, and I'm sure that all you guys are going to be commenting on this video with more hot takes.
We love it. Keep them coming.
So, as long as you guys want to see this series, we are more than willing to make this a legit series on our channel. Our first series. This is, I mean, it's 3 episodes now. It's we made it past the pilot.
Yeah, that's true.
So, while you're down there in those comments, make sure you guys are liking and subscribing, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.
See